Hi guys, and welcome to my bathroom. You may have seen mentioned in a previous video that I'm going to be stripping the colour, the fake colour that is, from my hair. Sorry about the glare. I've actually got you mounted on a tripod on the window, on the windowsill. It's the only way I could really get you so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try and video me applying it and so on and so forth. So I'm going to get straight on because I don't know how long this is going to take. I've got really thick hair and I've got an idea it's going to take me absolutely ages to coat all my hair with this. I'm actually putting on some other gloves than those provided in the box, because the ones in the box, they say they don't put latex ones in because obviously some people are allergic to latex, but I don't think I am. I haven't had a reaction as yet. And the ones they've supplied are these, which I've got quite small hands and they tend to be quite large, so they just, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I believe what I've got to do first is, oh, where are we? A and B. Let's see, so it goes there. Mix. Don't even see those. A and B together. I've got to pour A into B. So I'm going to go over to here and do that, but I'll keep it filming. What I might actually do is speed it up as well. So I've got an old t-shirt on with no bra underneath, so I do apologise if it's not a pretty sight, but I can't afford to ruin any clothes. I'm not prepared to do that, so here goes. We're mixing A into B. And it's taken a while, so because it's quite gloopy. So I think what I will do, you probably won't hear me talking because I will fast forward it. It's just this is taking quite a while. I think I better do it over the sink, in which case oh, you can still see me. And I'm absolutely roasting hot because it says I shouldn't have any drafts. I should be nice and warm because it needs heat to be able to shrink the molecules of colour that are in the hair from the previous dyes I've used. I don't have a lot of coloured hair left, hopefully. It's mainly my own colour, which is grey and dark brown. So I'm hoping this should be quite successful. So that's that done. Seal that up so there's no nastiness, I'm not sure. Oh right, okay, got it. So screw that up, and I think it says to shake for 30 seconds. Yeah. So I can shake it by looking at the timer on the, well, I say camera, it's not a camera, it's my iPhone, which is what I'm filming on, so I can actually use that. It's going a strange bluey grey colour. Right, so what I think I'll do here, I'll pause the filming and I'll come back when I've actually coated my hair, because I know there won't be enough room on the phone otherwise. I've used the whole thing. It's really soaked it quite well. I didn't think it was going to, but there was more there in the bottles than I thought. So I'm just gonna, I've taken the gloves off now. I'm just gonna cover it in cling film, which some people have suggested, to retain the heat from my head, obviously. And I'm going to go and sit near a radiator to not develop it, because it's obviously not developing, but to accelerate and to help the molecules shrink so that they come out better. But obviously you wash them out, that's what actually removes them, but this is shrinking them, and the more warm the environment, the more they shrink. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back when I've got the cling film on my head. Okay, so I'm trussed up like a, I don't know what. I've got yards and yards of cling film on my head to retain the heat. Actually feels quite cool at the moment, obviously because of the moisture, but that should gradually heat up with the heat from my head, because obviously we lose most heat from our head. I've actually just looked at with my other mirror. I don't know if I've got it in shot here. The back, I haven't managed to get all this in, but that's my roots, so that's not important. But I have noticed, so I'm hoping you can see there, that my roots at the back of my head are actually still quite dark. That's my natural colour. Because like I said, I haven't had any colour on my hair, oh gosh, for nearly 18 months, and my hair has grown, I don't know, 6 or more inches at least. So that's definitely all my own hair there, or my own colour, should I say, of course it's my hair. So that is actually my natural hair colour, and it's still quite solid colour, with little or no grey at all. So I was hoping it was going to go a lot more uniform colour, so that I would actually look like a peroxide blonde, but I think that was asking too much. So I've got to cook now for an hour. I've checked the time, so I know what time I've got to come back, and I'll catch up with you when I go to rinse it off. Okay, I'm halfway through cooking time, so I've got another half an hour to go. I'm sat here in front of the radiator to try and get as much heat towards my head as possible. I don't want to go the whole hog and use a hairdryer, because I did read something about using silicone products and them actually being, what's the word? They can do irreparable, well, not damage, but they will actually go in your hair and stay there, and the only way to remove them is to cut the silicone products out if they get to a certain temperature, because they melt, and then actually coat the hair permanently. So I don't want to go bonkers with the heat. I just want it to be nice and warm. I mean, it's obviously getting heat from my head, and some sort of background heat from the radiator behind me as well, which isn't that hot actually, because I think the whole apartment's warmed up because it's not terribly cold out today, and obviously I've had the heat on because it said not to get cold, but hopefully it's doing its job. I'm just concerned that there isn't as much coloured hair on my head as I thought there was, that it could actually be my natural hair colour, and I just thought I was more grey than I was because it's all at the front, and that's what I generally see. And if I tie it back, the grey is still on the top, because you know, if I tie the sides back or tie it in a ponytail, the grey from the front bit still goes over the top of the rest of the hair, so I actually look greyer than I possibly am. So don't know what I can do after this, but anyway, it can only be improvement, it can't be any worse. So I'll catch up with you in a bit anyway. Right, I'm fully cooked now, so I'm gonna take this off. What I'll do, I've got to get undressed before I take this off, otherwise everything will get coated. So what I'll do when I've got undressed, I'll just hand hand hold the camera so you don't see anything, obviously, and I'll just show you what it looks like before I rinse it off. Okay. Not a pretty sight, I'm afraid, but you can hear the shower in the background. I'm just about to step in the shower. God, I've got hair everywhere. I've just took the cling film off, and you can see straight away there's all this like gingery colour. So what I'm assuming is that that's the colour being lifted, you know, shrunk from inside the hair and coming out to the surface, but obviously I've got to now rinse it off. There's quite a few rinsing steps in the rinsing process. I've got to rinse it for like 10 minutes, and then I've got in as warm a water as possible to keep the heat there, and then I've got to use the, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called, and obviously I can't get it now because of the predicament I'm in with lack of clothing. I'll mention it afterwards, but there's the like the shampoo, but I think it's called buffering. So I've got to apply half of that, then rinse again leave it on for a minute, I think it was, then rinse again for another 5 minutes, and then use it again like an ordinary shampoo. Plus I'm going to have obviously a shower. I'm going to have a shave and shave my legs and underarms and so on while I'm in there. So I'll be a while. So I shall turn the camera off and I shall show you the results after I've got out of the shower. So I'm finally out of the shower. It took forever. All I can suggest is if you're on a water meter, this might not be the best choice for you, because you literally have to stand under the water for the first rinse, non-stop. You can't do something else, you know, like go and have a shave or at the other end of the shower or something like that. You have to literally stand with the water going through your hair for 10 minutes to wash all the product out and potentially any dyes that is left in. So that's one thing. The buffer, which is like a clarifying shampoo, there's so much of it. It says work up a lather. Well, it lathers as soon as it hits your hair. I mean, there's so much of it, but it really strips any product out your hair. My hair was squeaking like anything. It sounded like it needed oiling, and so I really made sure I conditioned it when I'd totally finished, because you have to actually wash with this shampoo buffer product twice. The first time you give it a good shampoo, then you leave it in before rinsing it out, and you have to rinse it out like for 5 minutes, and then you do it again, but just as if you were normally shampooing. But I made sure after I'd rinsed that out the second time that I really slathered it in conditioner, because I have dry hair anyway, and it you know, it was crying out for some moisture. You know, that's another thing to bear in mind. Make sure you've got a good conditioner to put on your hair afterwards, especially if you've got dry hair. I did also put on some frizzy serum just on the ends, because otherwise, with the amount of dryness it felt, you know, potentially it would just frizz up like a fizz bomb. Hopefully, you know, that was okay putting that on. I can definitely see evidence of something. I haven't taken this off yet, so I don't know. I've kept this on to try and dry my hair as much as possible, because what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to use heat to dry it. I just want it to dry naturally, so I don't do any damage with the hairdryer or tongs or anything. So I'm going to go and get dressed, then I'll take my hair out and I'll give you a look before I tie it up, and maybe once I've tied it up as well, because I just want it to dry naturally. And I never wear my hair loose because I can't abide hair in my eyes, but I have it long at the front, so at least I can tie it back, because a fringe I couldn't handle. So yeah, so I'm going to get dressed, take this turban off, and then show you what the result is What I'm hoping it isn't is like a full head of ginger hair. Nothing against ginger people whatsoever, but obviously I've never been ginger, but I do have strong auburn tints in my hair, you know, red tones naturally. What I'm hoping it hasn't done, I don't see how it could, to be honest, but I'm hoping any colour hasn't transferred from where it was in the dark hair into my grey hair, so that the white hair I did have hasn't gone orange. I'm assuming what orange I could see is where it's stripped as much colour as it could out of my naturally coloured hair, because what it does do, as well as stripping colourant from, say for instance, I was covering my grey hair, potentially it should strip out, hopefully to take it back to grey, or colourless, but where you've had colourant on, you know, a darker hair, any colour that you put on your hair has got a amount of peroxide in it which oxidises it, so it actually bleaches your hair before it colours it. Obviously you don't notice it because it's got colour on it. So when this colour remover takes the colour out, you've actually got lighter hair than what you had before you coloured it, because it you know, it did bleach it with peroxide before it coloured it. So I was expecting some amount of you know, oranginess. Anyway, I shall show you in a moment. Well, all I can say is I'm not overly impressed and I'm extremely pleased I didn't pay full price. It doesn't appear to have changed the colour of my grey hair. It's potentially lifted a fraction the colour. Don't know if you can see. Oh, where are we? The back there. I don't think it's made a great deal of difference, to be honest. A long, lengthy process, but you have to try these things, otherwise you never know, do you? But no, I'm not overly impressed. Like I say, I'm glad I didn't pay £12, which is how much they were charging in Boots. I got it for £5.99 in Superdrug. So there you go. Whether it would be different on somebody else, I mean, I've seen one of the videos on their website, and I mean, it totally stripped colour out of a girl's hair. She had what I might call dark blonde hair, which was dark brown, and it totally brought all of the brown out, and she went back to her natural dark blonde colour. But I don't know that it's made any difference, to be honest. Yet, well, it must have done, because I don't normally see these the ginger bits that I did when it was wet. So it's maybe lightened these bits slightly. I don't know that there's any more grey showing than what there was. What do you think, guys? From previous videos, do you think it's brought the colour out at all? I'd be interested to know your opinions. If you'd like to leave your comments below, let me know what you think. I'm going to tie it up and see how it looks. Okay, so I've tied my hair up now, and okay, I'll have to admit it has lightened it up a little bit, but not to the degree that I bought the product for. So I am disappointed, but you know, it is what it is. Possibly see it better at that angle. Yeah, I would say it has lightened it slightly, but it hasn't stripped of the colour. I was expecting my whole head to be lighter because of it stripping colour out, natural colour, which it hasn't. It doesn't appear to have done. So I shan't be purchasing it again, because I don't think even if I applied it again, it would make any difference, because I did everything I should do. There was plenty of product, so it's not as if I needed another box because of the quantity, because I had really long hair or anything like that. There was plenty there. It was plenty moist. I did use a hairdryer at one point to try and accelerate it and keep it hot. I did everything it said basically. So whether it's just my hair, obviously some people do have better success than me. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Hope this video has been helpful. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Also feel free to pop over and have a look at our other channel, System to Success. That's System, then the number 2, Success. System to Success. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and so on under Trina's Bag. So this is Katrina signing out, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye.